Hey guys, what's going on? It's Sports Talk with Stock, back here again with another video, and today I'm going to be predicting the Denver Broncos 2020-2021 season record. And first I'm going to start off like how I always do, talking about their coaches and their roster. Now, their quarterback, Drew Lock, he's pretty good, I think, actually, and he had a really good ending of the season. In the preseason, he didn't look that good, but he really, I think when he was injured, I don't know if he was actually injured, but he was on the injured reserve for most of the season. I think he learned the playbook a lot, and he used that knowledge and used that time to learn the offense and to see how he can improve it. And so Drew Lock, he had a really good 5 games, I think. He went 4-1 in those, or maybe it was 3-1. But they had a really good end of season, and Drew Lock had a really good for that. Now, their running back room, they have Melvin Gordon and Phillip Lindsay, and those are two really good guys. Phillip Lindsay was a really good running back 2 years ago, and then last year he had an okay season. It wasn't great, but it wasn't awful either. And then they got Melvin Gordon. They signed Melvin Gordon after the Chargers let him walk. But I think they can use that dual threat, that 1-2 punch that they have there to their advantage. They can maybe do Phillip Lindsay as third down back or Melvin Gordon at third down back. I don't know who'll be the starter there, but probably Melvin Gordon. And at wide receiver, they got a lot better through the offseason. Courtland Sutton, he was one of the most underrated receivers of the season last year, and he was really good. He just had solid hands. And then Jerry Jeudy, who's probably the number one wide receiver out of that class, and he fell all the way to 15 for the Broncos to pick him up. That was one of the biggest steals of the entire draft. And then KJ Hamler, who's really fast, and if he's willing to work on his hands and he can catch, then he will be probably not exactly a Tyreek Hill, but he can definitely do that. And then they also have Deshaun Hamilton, who was also a really good wide receiver for them last year. And on top of that, they have Noah Fant, who was a really good tight end, who had a really good rookie season, or well, an up-and-down rookie season, but he showed a lot of potential in that he was fast. And then their offensive line is on the downside, but I think they have some guys, Garrett Bowles, maybe, if he finally reaches his potential, or Elijah Wilkinson, if he gets healthy and he takes over Bowles, then he can do really good. But I don't know, it's just they're on the downside. I'd like to see improvement from that area. But then on defense, their defense got even better from last year. And Vic Fangio, who was a defensive coordinator, I think he'll be really excited. He was a big part of the Bears' number one defense a couple years ago, and he didn't have the greatest year with them last year, but I think this year it's a completely different year, and they'll do a lot better. They have Jarrell Casey now, who is a really good interior defensive lineman. They got from the Titans for basically nothing. And they have Von Miller still, who would be a great edge rusher. He'll be a great edge presence like he always is. And then Bradley Chubb, who I think will have a really good bounce back year. And their inside linebackers, it's not the best, but it's still better than a lot. Now, their cornerbacks, they did lose Chris Harris Jr. last year, but then they traded for A.J. Boye, and they got Isaac Yiadom. I don't know how to say his last name. Yiadom. And then Bryce Callahan, when he's healthy, he can be really good. Then Justin Simmons, who is maybe the most underrated safety other than Budda Baker, in my opinion. Justin Simmons, he had an amazing year last year. He got the franchise tag, but he would have got big money last year. And then Kareem Jackson, he's also pretty good. Now that I'm through with their roster and the coaches, I want to start with their record and what I actually think they're going to do game by game. Now, week 1, they play Monday Night Football. They go against the Tennessee Titans. Denver's home. I think it's going to be a really good game, but I think Tennessee's going to take week 1. And then week 2, Denver goes into Pittsburgh, and I think Denver will win that one. Then week 3, Tampa Bay goes into Denver on Sunday Night Football, and I think Tom Brady and the Buccaneers take that one. Now, week 4 and 5, Denver wins both of those. Those are both AFC East opponents. It's the New York Jets on Thursday Night Football and the New England Patriots. And then after that, they play the next AFC East opponent, which would be Miami. And on Sunday Night Football, I think that Denver loses that one. So at this point, they are 3-3. Now Kansas City goes into Denver. This will be a really good game, I think. But I think Denver will win this one. This will be a really good game. It'll be a lot of offensive power, but I think Denver's defense is a little bit better, and that will win them at this point. Now they go into their bye week. Now coming off their bye week, they play Atlanta, which I think they win. Then they play the Raiders, which I think they win. Then they play the Chargers, which I think they win. Now New Orleans goes into Denver, and I think Denver loses that one. Now Denver goes into Kansas City, and I think Kansas City will be on a roll here, and they won't lose to Denver. They'll beat Denver this time, better offense. And then the Denver Broncos will go into Carolina, which Carolina is coming off their bye week, and they will beat Carolina. Then Buffalo will go into Denver. This is the last AFC opponent that they have to face, and I think Buffalo will win that one. Then Denver will go play the Chargers again. They'll beat that. And then in Week 17, they beat the Raiders. Now, they are 10-6 in their division, and here's an interesting. They are 5-1 in their division. Their only loss in their division being to the Kansas City Chiefs, which is really good for them. And now they are 8-4 in their conference, and they are 3-5 at home, which means it's not what you want to be at home, but they are 7-1 at away, which is more than better what you want to be at away. Now, versus winning teams, they are only 2-6, which is that's not what you want to be at, but they are 8-0 versus losing team, which is perfect. That's exactly where you want to be. Now, that's my wrap on the Denver Broncos. I think they'll do really good. They'll go 10-6. They'll be second in the AFC West. And I want you guys to comment down below the next team you want me to predict. And have a great day.